Welcome back. You're with Newsday. Returning now to our coverage of the budget. Senior advocates are calling for changes to the retirement income system, recommending work income to be exempted from the government payment income test to boost workforce participation and savings. Joining us live with more is Ian Henschke. He's Chief Advocate for National Seniors Australia. Ian, always appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. Just how life-changing would that change be for older Australians if we saw that sort of thing, exemptions of work income for the income test for all government payments? And realistically, what are you expecting in the budget papers on that front tonight?
Well, I hope the government does listen, because what we're seeing now is a massive shortage of workers. I think it's 438,000 workers. And we had Deloitte do some modelling, which I've got in my hand here, and I've been taking it around Parliament House this morning. And in that modelling, it actually says, and I quote directly from this, if the initiative was confined to the healthcare and social assistance sector, there would be a boost to the workforce of 25,000 at no cost to government. If they did it across the whole sector, 209,000 additional workers, and you would get a boost to fiscal aggregates. In other words, you would make money from the policy. This is Deloitte doing this work for us. We commissioned them to do it, and of course it shows that this policy will work. So when you've got a government saying that they're worried about the future surpluses, etc., we've now been able to prove economically that the policy works.
We are being told, Ian, that there will be cost of living relief. What other forms are you expecting that could come in for older Australians? We seem to be getting a few heavy hints that we'll be seeing something on helping Australians with rent tonight. Do you expect some movement there when it comes to rent assistance for seniors?
Well, I think rent assistance across the board needs to be looked at. Commonwealth rent assistance hasn't been keeping up with the higher costs of rent, and one of the biggest predictions of living in poverty is if you are renting and you're on fixed income, such as a pension. So I think that really needs to be looked at. And more Australians are reaching pension age, either still renting, or they've got very high mortgage payments, and some of them are actually then not being able to keep up with those when they get to pension age. So I think that's an important area. The other thing that we're hearing is that there's likely to be an increase in the job seeker payment for people over 55. National Senior says that's almost, it's good for those people to get a little bit of a boost, but what we should be looking at is training people who are over 55 to take up some of these jobs I mentioned before, 438,000 jobs. And we've suggested a mature age traineeship program be rolled out across Australia. Some of the areas where we desperately need workers are in the rural industries. You also need workers in tourism and hospitality, and of course aged care, home care, childcare, disability care. So I would like the government to consider some of the proposals we've put in our budget submission, and that mature age traineeship program I think is one that has to be done, rather than saying, look, here's some extra money while you're on JobKeeper. It would be better to say, here's some traineeship programs that we would like to get you into work. And of course, there's a lot of discrimination against older Australians, but in those sectors we've mentioned just then, childcare, aged care, home care, disability care, older workers often become some of the best workers in that area. So I think the traineeship program is a good one, and we've put that in our budget submission.